Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm inviting you to wake up and live. And today I want to talk about some of the things that prevent us from truly being who we are, from showing up in the world authentically, unapologetically us, and from letting our soul shine. Okay, so here's the thing. Within us is a sense of duality. We have all of these opposites in us. And some of them are not like bad feelings versus good feelings. Some of them are things like whether you're introverted or extroverted, or whether you're a focused person or scatterbrain. I don't like the word scatterbrain, but somebody who's got a lot of things going, multitask brain. So we have all these different dualities within us. And it's like a right hand versus a left hand. I'm right-handed, so writing and doing things with my left hand is very easy for me. It's very natural for me. It doesn't mean that I can't use this hand. It just means that it's awkward and I would have to train myself how to do well. At one point in time I did pretty well, and I actually have done a non-dominant hand sketch that looked almost better than my dominant hand sketching. That was pretty cool. But I don't use it often, and I haven't used it for years like that, so I couldn't even do that now. So we have these dualities within us. An extroverted person can do some introverted ways of doing things, but it's a little awkward for them. In the same way as if you have an introverted person, they can do some extroverted things, but it's a little awkward for them. The same thing goes for all of these different duality traits. Whether you're a logical person or a heart-based person, whether you're a scared, naturally observing person, or whether you're just like, who cares, and you just go out and do things and then think about it. Whichever way you are, there are both positive and negative things about them. But the biggest negative is you're judging it. Judging the parts of you that are the most you. So for instance, I am a very, 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 very feminine kind of woman. I'm very, my desires for life, all growing up, all I ever wanted to be was a mom and a wife. I loved the idea of just nurturing and taking care of my family, and I've always embraced people and just had this energy about me that was very feminine in nature. But as I got older, it was clear, what are you going to do when you grow up? And being a mom was not an acceptable answer. What are you going to do for work? What are you going to do for a job? Oh, you want to be an entrepreneur. Well, you have to market this way. You have to do this. You have to do that. And everything that I've been receiving from my culture around me was basically telling me that in order to have the things that I wanted to have, I had to become the masculine energy, that I had to just really use it. And it was like I was trying to write with my left hand, trying to run a business with my left hand, my non-dominant energy. And I began to almost hate the fact that I was a girl. And in fact, I've had to do energy healing about being a girl and not being the boy and things like that. It's been really interesting, my journey around this. And so there was almost even on this particular energy, I don't think I fully hated it, but I didn't necessarily, I began to not like the fact that I was so girly. I envied the kids that were kind of tomboys, the girls that were tomboys. And the more I envied them, the more I envied this masculine energy coming out in women, the more I wanted to shrink my feminine energy. And the more I shrank my feminine energy, the less I shined. The less I showed up in the world as unapologetically me. Recently, I was thinking about some of the people that are unapologetically them. Some of these people that they just get up on stage and they're just like, bam, here I am. Like it or not, I'm here. And it's amazing to see. But that's not me. I have no problem with getting up on stage and saying, here I am. But my here I am is going to be softer. Because it's going to be me. And that's something that's really important. But one of the things that prevents us from doing that is when we don't like that aspect of ourselves. When we don't like some aspect of ourselves. Say we tend to be a reserved person. And we've labeled ourselves as shy and we don't like that about ourselves. And as long as you don't like that about yourself, you can't show up in the world as who you are. Being an observer and being a reserved person is an incredible gift. You have the ability to notice what's going on in somebody else around you. And a person who is not naturally reserved is going to go into a room and they may be oblivious to absolutely everybody else in the room but themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely gifts that come from that way of being. But as an observer, you have this ability to see how the other people are responding to you. You have the ability to see who's not doing well. You have this ability to make choices from decide before you act place versus an act before you think about it place. So there's different qualities and there are gifts in both sides. But the important aspect is loving the aspects that make you you. Loving the person that you are. Because if you don't love you, then how are you going to share yourself with everybody? Because if you don't love and accept you, if you're rejecting that part of you, then other people are going to reject you. And you're not going to shine. When you love and embrace who you are made to be, a outspoken person, a reserved person, a logical person, a heart-based person, a intuitive person, or a person who is very tangible. It's all about what they can physically see and experience right now. Whichever one you are, embrace it, love it, accept you for who you are. Because when you love and accept yourself for who you are, that's when you can shine. That's when you can show up and be who you were meant to be. So do that. Start thinking about it as you hear about different things. If you hear about extroverted versus introverted, and you start looking at yourself and saying, which one am I? Don't just look at which one you are, but start looking at what kind of judgments you put on each of them. And start loving and forgiving those judgments, releasing those judgments, because then whichever one of you are doesn't matter as much as that you'll just show up more as yourself when you don't have those judgments. If you are an outgoing person and you've judged that as bad, you're going to not be outgoing. If you're an outgoing person and you've judged shy as bad, there's going to be consequences for that that's going to allow you to not shine as bright as you could. And it may just be that you're not going to allow shy people to experience you. I'm not sure exactly how that works because I tend to be a reserved person. Part of what brought this up is I'm looking at the divine masculine and the divine feminine. It's been something that's been on my mind for a while. I became aware that I really have struggled with business and being an entrepreneur because it seems to be a very masculine place to be, and I have a natural tendency to be a feminine person. That's just my nature. And it was feeling like I was using my left hand as I've been trying to go through business. And it's been very hard for me. It's been very frustrating. And today, as I was doing my healing work around it, I became aware of my judgment towards the masculine, my opinion that things about it were bad, prevented me from participating with that energy. So for me, the epitome of divine masculine energy is Heavenly Father, God the Father. And how can He give me anything if I have any kind of negative judgments about divine masculine energy? I cannot receive that energy if I am hating that energy. And that is something that I became very aware of. The other thing is that the more I tried to be something I'm not, the more I tried to hang out in that masculine energy, the more I resented being so feminine. I resented one of the most important aspects of me because I wasn't fitting in by being me. And so there is some benefit of looking at how you feel, not only about yourself, but how you feel about other people. Because somehow that plays in with you. Somehow that's you not liking some aspect of you. Like truly, the divine masculine and the divine feminine both reside inside of me. I resonate stronger. My right-handed energy is feminine. But I still have this left-handed energy. I still have that masculine energy inside of me. And if I'm hating the divine masculine, then I'm hating that part of me. And that's not cool. And that prevents me from shining. When I was able to recognize that and I was able to heal that and embrace that energy, it allows me to receive. Because how can I receive, which is a feminine energy, if there is no masculine energy giving? We need both. We've got to love both. We've got to love the logical and the emotional. We've got to love the physical and the spiritual. We've got to love the outspoken and the reserved. We've got to love all aspects of who we are. Those that we lean towards that are our right-handed energies, our dominant energies, and those that we lean away from because they're our non-dominant energies. We've got to love them and accept them all so that we can shine who we are meant to be. So that we can love and appreciate everybody as they were meant to be. Thank you so much for listening. I got some valuable information for myself. I hope that you did too. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Ask me questions. Tell me where you're coming from. Let me know how you feel about this, how you feel about yourself. Be sure to like this video if you found anything of value from it. And, as always, subscribe. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get the little lines outside of the bell and you can receive my notices that I've uploaded yet another wonderful video. Remember to let your soul shine big, bright, light, beautiful, exactly who you are. Be you, love you, and I will see you tomorrow.